Hi guys! Welcome back to another episode of Poly Unwrapped. I think it has been quite a long while since we last had this podcast or we even mentioned about Poly Unwrapped, and we are back better than ever, hopefully.
Hope you guys remember us.
Yes. So this time we are trying things a little differently, as you can tell from, the video itself. Last time we only had audio, but now we are going to try doing video and audio so that you get to enjoy our beautiful faces. Yeah, but before we begin, I think I should introduce my two ladies joining me today. So, if you still don't know me, I'm Odelia and I'm back hosting this podcast.
Okay, hi, my name is Charity. I used to be a student at Ngee. I'm currently still a student at Ngee, doing CT studies. Yeah.
I'm Hannah. I'm also from Ngee. Studied mass comm last time. Now I'm a working adult.
So how do you feel to be restarting this podcast and to be trying out this new format?
Quite excited. Yeah, I heard that some people really want the podcast to come back.
I hope.
Yeah, I think they miss Odelia.
You flatter me, Charity.
Because we weren't in the previous podcast, so clearly it's you.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, for me, I'm quite excited to share more or talk more about different topics I guess. Yeah.
So, because we're talking about starting this whole podcast, starting it anew. So, the first topic for this new season will be starting a new season. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I think we're going to talk a little bit about what's new in our lives and, bring in the idea about change. And we're going to touch a little bit on two different kinds of changes, broadly speaking. So, the first kind is circumstantial changes. So, changes to your surrounding, changes to your circumstances. And I think a lot of the times these are not really by choice. Things just change and you're forced to adapt to it. Mm-hmm. And then the other kind of change that we'll be looking at today is a kind of active change. So the change that usually you initiate as a person. You want to do something differently, you want to have a change in your life, and that's why you initiate this change. So we'll be talking a little bit about this too in this episode today.
Nice.
Yeah, so thank you for validating me.
I always do.
Okay, so with that being said, let's share a little bit about what's new in our lives recently.
Right. So, actually, I'm a little bit older than them. Yeah, and I feel like ever since my poly days compared to now, I have changed from being an extrovert to an introvert. Yeah. Yeah, I used to be very outspoken, very outgoing, always ready. I don't go by timetable, very free spirited. Yeah.
Free spirited.
Yeah.
I like that
Nice.
word.
But nowadays I realize I prefer to know what's happening the next day. Yeah. And I prefer to stay home. And I'm not as loud as I used to be. Yeah.
Why do you think it changed?
I don't know it.
Aging.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I'm this year or no.
We'll cut that for you.
Yeah, but maybe I just changed, and yeah, that's what I realized lah.
Personality changes
That's right.
as you grow up.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Are you happy with the change? Are you okay with it or what?
Surprisingly, I'm okay. I don't think my 18-year-old self would be okay with it. She'll be like, wow, you're so boring. But but actually now I thought about it and I think I'm okay with it actually, surprisingly. Yeah. Actually, I feel that I changed in my dressing as well. I am a little bit more modest now. My boyfriend is quite happy about that. In poly, right? I don't know about your fashion nowadays, right? Now long pants are in kind of thing, baggy long pants. But last time it used to be short shorts. Short shorts and spaghetti strap. Yeah, and I wore short shorts. So a lot. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad that changed. Yeah.
Nice. So things will change as you age.
Yeah, things do change as you age.
Okay, and it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it is okay.
Hearing from you.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I think for me personally, it also has something to do with, I think, things change as you age. Because right now, I think something new that I'm adapting to is learning how to be alone or learning how to navigate school by myself. So in that sense, because a lot of my friends, I mean, now I'm in university, right? A lot of my friends are exchanged, so they are overseas, and I'm left alone quite literally lah. So even though I stay on campus, most of my good friends are away. So I think this semester taught me how to be okay with eating by myself, doing things by myself, going to classes by myself. And in the past, like, that would never be me. I could never eat myself. I'll be very, very scared. I'm very nervous to do things by myself. I always had to have someone there. But maybe, like what you say, somehow as we grow up, I think I've learned to embrace that doing things yourself isn't that scary after all, and it can be quite fun to spend time with yourself and to just hang out alone. I don't know, is that a old people thing lah? Like, do y'all like share? I mean, do y'all experience that in the past last time?
For me, I like doing things alone actually. Like, I can eat alone. Because then I can watch my show, or like I can just like nobody bother me.
Yeah.
So I think I'm quite okay doing things alone. But I realized that maybe in the past I wasn't, but I don't remember because I had a friend tell me that, oh wow, now you can eat alone, that's very good, like you grew. Then I'm like, you mean in the past I was not okay? And then I was like very confused. Maybe I block out the memory. But maybe perhaps in the past I was a bit more self-conscious of like what being alone actually will like seem to other people lah. You know, they'll be like, hey, this person no friend, or like, wow, like so sad, you know, like have to do everything by yourself. But maybe now at this stage, I feel like I need time alone. Like, stop bothering me, you know, on this and that at work, or like with other outside stuff lah. So then I appreciate like a lot of alone time. Yeah, so I guess it's maybe a journey where you learn to be comfortable with yourself, or by yourself even. Yeah.
Totally agree with the afraid of how others will view me. I used to be very scared. People think that I'm lonely and I have no friends. But now I just realized that no one cares. Like, actually really no one cares.
Yeah.
I just overthink.
Yeah. I mean, even if at that instant they think, oh, this person has no friend, but like 5 minutes later, they don't remember who you are. They don't remember that they saw a person eating alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Hannah? What's new in your life?
So you share about circumstantial change, right? But mine is more like active change. Okay. So I'm trying to bring a new lifestyle into my life, which is I'm trying to gain weight.
Hey, I'm trying to lose weight. Hey.
Okay, hey, it's the same, okay? It's very difficult. So like, I noticed that I'm quite, like my BMI is really quite low. I'm like really quite underweight lah. So, and it was kind of not nice to be so like stick or like very skinny. So, and for health reason also lah, I'm trying to put on weight. But it's quite difficult because I'm not very disciplined. Okay. Yeah, so like I'm supposed to find a nutritionist, but I think like don't waste money. Or like what can they do? You know, like it's like seeing doctors. Sometimes I feel like I just know I need a rest, or like I just eat Panadol or something. So now also, my friend has given me some tips like on how to gain weight. So I have a friend who gained 10 kg, and then I'm like, wow, goals! I also want to gain 10 kg, and he shared with me like some of his how he got there lah. Basically, he there's a lot of workout needed, even though I think it's to put on muscle.
Yes.
And then he also like sent me this recipe to like this milkshake recipe.
Protein shake?
No, not really protein.
Milkshake.
Milkshake, yeah, milkshake. But I think it has a lot of protein, like banana, oat, and all that kind of thing. So I'm trying to drink that regularly and then do the exercise part. But the exercise part is the difficult part because I'm really very lazy. I don't like to go gym. I don't like to run. Yeah, but I think if I really want to make this change, then I somehow gotta do it lah. Yeah. But I realized that I'm somebody who like to say, then I don't really follow through on active change because I guess I have been telling my friends that I want to gain weight, right? But I think for like months, I never really do anything about it. So they ask like, oh, so what are you doing? Then I just say, I think I need to eat better, but I don't actively work on it lah.
Okay.
So I realized that maybe in my mind, I say I want to change, right? But actually my action just totally shows otherwise. Like, I totally not gonna do anything about it, but I just think about it lor. Yeah.
Do you think it has to do with your personality?
My lazy personality?
She said herself, I don't think.
You like baiting me to say it. No lah, I think in a more general sense, it's quite human to go through this. Like you want something, but you know that there are many obstacles, and then there's a lot of things that will cause you from actually taking action. No? Yeah. So I think for me, it's more of like, do my actions align with what I believe? Yeah, but I think like you guys talk about circumstantial change, right? Like things that are out of control, because I think my weight gaining one is something that I'm trying to make an active change about. But when I think of circumstantial change, I feel like I'm a bit different. Like I'm not so lazy or like feeling a bit like about it. I realize I'm quite neutral sometimes. Like I'm okay to deal with the change. I think personally it's because I don't really think of like why are we changing, or like evaluating like, you know, what's the purpose of this. Like I just see it as like, let's say COVID come and I'm just like, oh okay lor, then I have to deal with it. And then like make changes now. And then what do I need to do now to make it work lah? Yeah, like make my lifestyle work or whatever like that. And then I guess like it can be part of my personality to want to chiong and get things settled and done. Yeah, so like recently I learned about this 4 archetypes, like different kind of personalities in a sense, in dealing with like change or like, let's say a crisis, like a pandemic or something. Okay, maybe not a pandemic because that one is like different, but any change to your lifestyle, to I guess like or even when a crisis hits, something you don't expect, there's like 4 different ways to deal with it. And I guess for me, just now I was saying I'm a person who will like chiong into it, or like I just want to get it done. Yeah, so this personality type is like a warrior. So somebody who when a change comes, right, they are just like, okay, so I think of the solution, what is the result that I'm trying to work towards to, and I'll just get it done. Yeah, so I just like headstrong, like I'm just gonna go and do it. Yeah. But then on the other hand, there's people who are more like what we call like a king and queen. So I mean, you think of king and queen, they're like very stable lah. Okay, elegant. Okay, no, but it's about stability. So this person is someone who will be very grounded. Yeah, they will evaluate everything that's happening. They'll calculate, okay, what should be the best step to take. And then only after that, then they will come up with like maybe a plan that is very stable, very secure, and then they will work towards it lah. Yeah. The third one is somebody who is like a jester, somebody who is more like lively. So these people are very creative and like flexible. So when crisis come, right, they're like, what's the most innovative way to tackle this, or how can I work around it? So there's a lot of energy. They're like, maybe some of them will even think like, hey, change is quite exciting, or like this crisis is a challenge. It's like, wow, now I got something to work on. Yeah, so there's like a lot of like energy lah. Yeah, then the last one is lover. So this person is somebody who will take a step back. Like say crisis is happening, they'll take a step back and they will look at the people around them and be like, is everybody okay? Like, are you okay? Like, what do you need? You know? Like, how can I support you? That kind of thing. So I think each personalities, right, or archetypes have the pros and cons lah, depending on different situations. And then I realized that I'm very impatient. So I think I can be a warrior sometimes. Like when a crisis comes, like, okay, so what do we do now? Like, I need to move forward, you know? Like, why are we wasting time? So I sometimes will think that maybe people who are king and queen, who like, you know, calculate, and I'm like, you're very slow, like we just need to chill already. Yeah, but I think that in different circumstances there will be different archetypes that will come out. Like you're not entirely just like one, right? I mean, later y'all can share like which one you think it is lah. And I think it's also knowing how to like maybe use the different archetypes, right, to deal with like the different circumstantial change or like crises that happen like in your life lah. Yeah, so I guess there's 4. Which one do you think you are, like, when it comes to change or like crisis?
Highly likely I'm a warrior.
Same.
Yeah. I tend to just go hit in and do first thing later kind of thing. Yeah, and sometimes it bites me back in the ass lah. You know, when things because I don't think through things backfire, or like they don't work out as well as I thought it would be, or like I just am blindsided lah because I didn't give it too much thought. Yeah, and I think it's really nice that you brought up that there are 4, because like from what you explained, right, there are so many other ways to deal with crisis than the way I actually do it most of the time lah. So and knowing that there are other ways to deal with it, maybe I can learn from that and like apply it a little bit. Maybe the lover sounds really nice, like, you know, taking a
Very
step
difficult.
back.
You're just like, why are you wasting time also? Like, you know, the problem is there. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But it's needed, ma. If not, people will just be like, imagine
will
you're in
freak
a
out.
That's right.
like you're in a battlefield. Everybody's like they're dying already. Then you're like, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also agree because like as warrior, like I sometimes just chiong, right. Then it's true that sometimes I never think through properly. Then I realize that the solution not very good, right, or not very helpful. Then it's actually very tiring to always be chionging lah. To always be like putting in all your energy into like coping or managing it or dealing with it, right? And then after that, like after the crisis is over, then you're just like, wow, that was like a ride, man.
Right. Yeah. What about you, Odelia?
I think for me, I resonate with two. The first one is warrior also. Maybe that's why we get along.
Right.
And there's a crisis, all three of us run. Then we're like, solve it. Yeah, so similar to the points that you mentioned, I think I'm also very impatient, and there's a problem, then just go and solve it and get it out of the way. But I think after a while, because you put in so much effort and you're, you know, high alert, you're stressed out, like what you say at the end is just like, wow, I feel like my soul just left me, that kind of thing. Yeah. But the thing is, like, there are a lot of changes in life, what? So I realized that oftentimes when I'm always just like a warrior putting out fire, then it takes a toll on like my health, my emotional and mental health, because I'm just so tired trying to react to changes. But I think these are the more kind of sudden crises that you need to take immediate action.
Right.
There are some other changes in my life that I tend to be more like the king and queen. Not so much that I'm stable, but more like I will just look at the different factors and then calculate and try to make the best decision moving forward. But I think with this archetype, there's also one weakness that I experience is that sometimes when I plan and I'm like, okay, so this is how I'm gonna tackle this and solve it, and then things change again, then I get very disheartened. Like I waste so much time, so much effort, I plan nice, then change again,
Then we plan again.
correct. Then that's where the warrior comes in.
Right.
Don't need to plan, you just chop.
Right.
Right. Wait, so your main one is which one you feel?
Warrior lah.
Yeah. But I think like what you say, actually in different circumstances or changes, right? Like maybe you will use like different side of your the different archetypes. Because I think somebody was sharing also, like, let's say if it's a family crisis or something, like you won't really warrior it. Maybe you will be a lover because you really care for the people around you.
That's very true.
And I think the important thing is to know that there's options available on like what you say, right? How do I react to change now? Like what are some ways I can respond instead of just feeling like, I got no choice, I need to do this only. And then being aware of your own tendency also can help lah. Like for me, I know that I'm very warrior, so I will be like, okay, do I need to think through this? Do I need to talk to someone? Maybe I should have a king or queen, you know, to guide me, right? And be like, okay, you can warrior, but maybe warrior in these things that I've already thought about, like, you know, then it can be more like directed lah.
Right.
Yeah, or like more strategic.
Next time we hold each other back.
Yeah, we're like, Odelia, don't.
We should put on our crown and be the king and queen. Friend, warrior, you want to warrior this the battle plan?
Yeah.
Okay, we can one king or queen, one lover, one
Okay.
warrior. No, actually,
What's the jester?
Right, just that would be nice, you know. Yeah, to bring, you know, when things
Lighthearted
change.
lah. I think
Yes,
it's like,
that's right.
yeah.
Correct.
Change is not necessarily always bad, right?
Stressful and all that.
Yeah.
Right? Like actually, it can be exciting.
That's right. Like entering a poly, that is a change and it could be exciting.
Yeah, I think so too.
So now that we're talking about change and you know how we deal with it, maybe we can all maybe share like one or two ways that we tend to deal with changes.
Chiong lor. No, like kidding.
Okay, chong guys, chong.
No. I guess it's a bit like what you mentioned, right? Like sometimes you plan and you think that it will just go accordingly. I mean the ideal plan, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time, or all of the time in life, like that's not the case. Yeah. And I think what I learned is even though something don't go as planned, right, it's not the end of the world. You know, like I feel like it will just pass. And then a lot of times I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a period. But it doesn't really like haunt me as much, or I don't keep thinking about it lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's only in that moment I feel like, oh my gosh, everything is so bad now, or like this change is, wow, I cannot deal with it. But yeah, I guess when you're out of it, then you can see that actually it's not as bad lor. Yeah.
Agree. How about Charity?
Yeah. I think overall, I think when I face change and when there is constant change, I like to have the mindset that I like, okay, maybe now I'm considering maybe I'm a lover. Yeah, you know, I would take a step back and then I would try to look at things in a bigger perspective, and I would like to always think that, you know, even though there's so much change going on in my life, that the sun will surely rise in the east and always set in the west, and that is one thing that I can be sure. And like, no matter what is happening in my life, right, tomorrow is a brand new day. Yeah, and brand new day brings you brand new hope, right? And I will just take one day at a time, one step at a time. Yeah.
And remember to breathe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think like just what you mentioned, that change is constant. I think we can add in this episode also that I mean, on this note, that like change is always constant and the only constant is change. So wow, okay. I found that quote somewhere, right? Yeah. So instead of like, I think, running away from it or being overwhelmed by change and resisting it, I think a more healthy mindset is to embrace it. And I think what Hannah shared, the 4 archetypes, might help us better understand ourselves also, and understand how we react to changes or how people around us react to change. And I think with this understanding, hopefully it can be you know, a resource lah to help us manage our emotions when changes do come. So I think with this, any last words for today's?
So I think if you're in poly right now and you're going through sudden changes, maybe you're exiting poly or you're entering poly. If you're exiting poly or you're entering into poly, right? There are a few articles that we have on Poly Puzzle, and you can check it out. Some of it are about going into NS. That's quite a big change. Some of them are about entering into poly or
Uni
going
as well.
uni as well. So maybe you can check that out. How other people dealt with that change, or how you can maybe use these 4 archetypes to meet that change lah. Yeah.
I think besides like change being constant, our podcast is also gonna be constant.
Did I dare to say that? Yeah, because I had no confidence, but now that
I
Hannah
guess,
said
yeah, because okay, see about the mindset and like our
So
action.
you want to be the king and queen
so
now?
you really want it to be constant, then we need to show it in our action.
Yeah.
So we have another podcast coming up. It will be our next episode. It's on anxiousness. So yep, if you're excited about that, please do let us know. Yep, it will really encourage Odelia.
Us, we are a team now. Okay, so we'll catch y'all in the next episode.
Yes.
Hope y'all stay tuned.
See ya.
See ya. Did we just harmonize?
Did we?